That's right. I'm live, ladies and gentlemen, here, and it is April 21st. And you know what that means? Not a real lot. It means I was born 61 years ago today. And the whole idea of this midnight stream seemed a lot better a couple hours ago. Thank you for coming in here, Chris, Sunrise Water Media. Thank you. Up for work at 5. Okay, buddy. I'll see you later. Max Air, how you doing, brother? Thank you. Maddie, thank you. Mike B, 85th birthday. It's very clever. I don't know if anybody's even still in here. It says 2, but I have my doubts. I mean, I'm one of them, so. But a couple hours ago, I had a little peanut butter whiskey in me, and I was on another channel. They were going off, and I was still going on. So I thought, let's do it. So here I am. If anybody's still left out there, raise your hand. Oh, well. Hey, Mike. Oh, I don't know where Jim is. I messaged him earlier. I said, are you working tomorrow? And he never got back to me. So this is spur of the moment, brother. Spur of the moment. Actually, a few minutes ago, I actually fell asleep watching. I was watching Rocky and Bullwinkle. It's actually the new adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle on Amazon Prime Video. So it's just dumb enough that I enjoy it, and also just dumb enough that you can easily fall asleep and not feel like you missed anything. So I fell asleep on the couch, took a little nap, and then barely made it back here in time. Well, actually, I was a little late. So. Maddie said he'd be in here. I see you said happy birthday. I don't know how long ago that was. All right, Michael. How you doing? Thank you. Thank you. They say it's your birthday. Charles Galushki, how you doing there, buddy? And you can see, well, it looks like me because of the shape of the head, but that one's not me. That's that one there. That's my brother. And there, aren't I cute? That was me. For some reason, everybody had little sailor suits back then. It was a thing. Wasn't I cute? Well, let's see if I can make that face. I still got the little double thing here. Anyway, I got nothing to present, nothing going on. I dug up an old photo. So let's go live, see who shows up. It's April 21st, 2022. And here I am. I got the link in the chat. This is probably going to be a real short one, guys. Pin message. You see, now we could tell who my best friends are. There you go. Hey, Don, Mudball Creative. How's that sock doing? How you doing, Don? Like I said, spur of the moment. So you guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I guess you can. Okay. Max Air. 127. I'm getting older by the minute. 85, 122. Hey, Steve. Thank you. Got some East Coasters awake for no reason at all on midnight on a Wednesday. Your internet is playing shit games with you. What kind of games are those? That stinks. Do I sound good? Good. Maybe I'll sing. Wise men say. How's that? Good? I've got no new videos. I've got nothing to show. I thought maybe somebody come in and talk a little bit. But anyway, I am now a year older, none the wiser. I forgot my vape, so it's a shame nobody came in here. Because now you have to look at this for a minute. You're up this late every night? Oh, great. For making me feel so special, Charles. You're not up to see me. You're up late this night, just like every other night. You hear me? You're funny, Stevie. Only fools rush in. He's so ill, ladies and gentlemen. South Illinois Ariel. So ill. I heard somebody saying that they actually believed that that's what that was. Look at that. They're rolling in. Be right back, guys. Hey. Only fools rush in. Right. I just saw my ice cream cake, honey. My wife's cute. I didn't expect her to really do anything because I already got my present. But she bought me Mylar balloons. I got a whole bunch of happy birthday Mylar balloons in the other room. And she gave me this card. Birthday awesomeness. And you open it up. Okay. Right here, and you press here. Now, you didn't see it's empty now, but this was full of confetti. And that thing spit confetti all over the place. That's crazy. And messy. Oh, hi, Tammy Jean. Thank you. Yeah, ice cream. She bought me you heard me say that? She bought me an ice cream cake. She didn't tell me about it. It's probably for tomorrow. It's hidden in the freezer in the garage. Scott Nadeau, thank you. I wish I had something more to present to you guys to make this an interesting birthday stream, but it was just kind of, like I said, a little bit of spur of the moment. And here I am. Anybody got any links they want me to play? I'd be happy to play them. Let's see. I found this one. Let me see, just recently. Speaking of Tammy and Max. Yeah, I I just found this uploaded onto my server, my website server. Oh, there's some really good videography. Look who that is. Overshot the video. It's terrible. This is my Mini 2 and our Maxi 2. You love the baby pictures? Yeah, that's me and my brother. The small chubby one there, he ended up being 6'4". Yeah, power lifter. Big boy. I know you love that video. I forgot it was uploaded. I uploaded something for Ray, and while I was rooting around in the folder on the web server, I said, "Oh, what is this video?" And then I looked through my folders, and I must have when I uploaded it, I must have deleted it. Or instead of copy and paste, I must have cut and paste because it was nowhere on my hard drives. I was like, well, "What is this video?" So I downloaded it, and it's this one. That's a nice looking butt. You too, Tammy. And you too, Max. I was actually talking about Jasper. But there's the rest of us at the secret spot. Fun times. I wonder how Lexi's doing. But anyway. Well, you can say secret spot. You just can't say where it is. So anyway, guys, I think this is going to be a short one. I just wanted to just wish myself a happy birthday. How pathetic. Tammy, wasn't I cute? Look at that. What? Look at that face. Those sad eyes. Let's figure it. Okay, stop yelling at me. Look at Mike. Give me something to eat. Yeah, we were cute. Look what happens. About 60 years later, this happens. You don't look 61? No, I was about I don't even think I think I was maybe 2. What does 61 look like? I don't know. Who, you talking about Tammy? No, she doesn't look 61. But I'd say 31. 31 for Tammy. Let's see what else we got in here. Pull out some oldies but goodies. I probably should have done this before I went live, found some stuff. That would have been smart. Never said I was. I showed all my new stuff from the meetup. None of this is any good. I'll show you my dad. It's a family show. Father's Day last year. Here I am with my dad's Happy Father's Day. Wait a minute. That's us. Isn't that exciting? And all day talked about flying a drone, but of course, weather, laziness, all had its effect on me. So here we go. I'm actually recording sound as well. So I just thought I'd show everybody this little beastie over here. Look at that thing, huh? That's his 66 Galaxy Money Pit. That's Galaxy 500. Hey, Alexis, how you doing? No, I'm not getting a Mini 3 for my birthday. From above. I got to upgrade my PC for my birthday. That's what I wanted to do. We'll do a little of this. Who likes classic cars? It's fine. I'm only 5 years older than that car. Oh, God. There we go. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, 66 Galaxy 500 convertible, red with a white top. They made less than 700 of those in that configuration. So I don't know how many are around. 56 T-Bird, 57 Chevy, all the best years. Cool. All the best years. He had Dad he's my stepfather, and I was 8 years old when he married my mother back in 1969, and he had a 66 Galaxy 500 that he bought new, and it was blue and it wasn't a convertible, but I always loved that car and always wanted another one. And this thing came up on one of those online auctions, and he paid too much money for it. Not auction, but online brokers. Yeah. In fact, I just ordered for Father's Day. I just ordered him a new driver's door latch. It's hard to find new old stock for 55-year-old cars. Imagine that, 56-year-old cars. And he couldn't find it in his garage. Couldn't find it. So a little Googling around, and I found new old stock brand, Ford OEM door latch. He has a hard time shutting the door. It's worn out. He actually had it painted since this picture because he wasn't happy with that. There was some metal that they replaced, and they did a pretty nice job. Got a good deal on it. There's the Shadow, Air 2S. Red with a red interior, by the way, red on red. For those who care. And this is St. Cloud, Florida. Thank you, Tim. There you go. Now he is 81 years old. Doing pretty good, huh? He just recently gave up motorcycles. He decided he was too old, but I don't know. I think he's fine. He was having trouble with his hand shaking and this and that. And then then what happened was after he gave up the bikes, he went to a different doctor who changed his meds. And the hand shaking went away. And now he's good. It's weird. Red on red, red interior. Red outside, red interior. White roof. And it's Lake Tahapakaliga. And for obvious reasons, they just call it Toho. This is the grid. Yeah, 81. Yeah, oh, he's good too. Although we can't ever remember my schedule. It's like every week. They laugh at work because he calls me like every Saturday when I'm at work. Oh, do you work on Saturdays? And he does it every Saturday. He'll call me my cell. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I was showing it this widow tree. Pretty impressive tree. Well, yeah, his hands were shaking. Yeah, yeah, he had an issue. We were worried about him, and then now it's gone. He's fine. They were giving him the meds. The med level was way too high. Went to a different doctor. He's good now. He's half-assed considering getting another bike, but he probably won't. Goes through a lot of cars. That's his hobby. He's buying cars. Still at work. You standing out in the road? Be careful, Tim. I think I take a little run down to the water here. Yeah, there we go. What a great hobby. I don't recall. I did at the time, but I don't recall. It's a combination. I mean, for diabetes, for I don't think he has hypertension. Might have, yeah, maybe for hypertension. Yeah, he just basically cut it in half. Whatever it was. I'll have to ask him. But he's been good. Is the handshaking's gone, and he's feeling better. Yeah, he'll be 82 in November. I'm sorry, December. But this is St. Cloud, Florida. Hey, Robbie, how you doing? Anyway, this is some boring stuff. Let's see how far Dopey Uncle Bill goes. 42.56 with the Mini 2. Surrounded by oh no, it's the Air 2S. You glad to see me on? Well, it's not going to be long, there, brother. I'm actually a little tired. This is my birthday present to myself. But Alexis, that's a good question. I'm going to ask him tomorrow. See what it was. It's begun to shake like that. Okay. I'll talk to Dad tomorrow. Too many trees around me. It's not even that far. That's Krabby Bill's restaurant right there on the marina. It's a nice looking little town. And I just go back. There we are. That's it. Oh, thank you. I will, Alexis. I have to find out. We'll have to figure. I think he determined which one it was because they cut back on him. What kind of meds is your husband taking? Just one hand, huh? Hey, what's going on, Sam? I see you too. In fact, I'll make a note to myself. Now that my phone is hooked up to my computer, I'm going to message myself. Isn't that funny? This new, the new thing. I mean, it's not new. Windows 10 had it as well, but it works a lot. This Windows 11 app, Phone Link, works way better than the Windows 10 did. All right. Let me see here. Instead, no. That's weird. Oh, won't let me do that. Great hair. Yeah, I used to be blonde. Look at that. Like a lot of Irish boys, I was born with some red hair, and that went away immediately. And then the blonde hair was there until about puberty, and it turned brown. Brown, thick and wavy, curly, actually. And now it's, I don't know what it is, salt and pepper. That's not me. That's me. The head shape's the same. I could look like either one, right? Or I should have not bought the Mavic 3. I don't see enough difference in two drones, and the Air 2S is just so damn solid. You really feel that way, Robbie? If I had the money, I'd buy it. I mean, I could buy it if I had money to throw away. Not throw away, but money to burn. I still have great hair. Oh, I got you. That's nice. Yeah, I still got most of it. Oh, Bill, how you doing? Thank you, sir. There he is.
How you doing?
Look.
Thank you, sir.
We're getting a little. How you doing, Robbie?
Doing good. I wouldn't have done it. Hold on.
There you
I had the extra screen. I don't know if I'd have bought it. I'll be honest with you. If I flew both of them and videoed with them and put a video out and said I made it with the Air 2S and it was the Mavic 3, I don't think anybody could tell the difference. I really don't. And it's fun and it has power, but the reason I've never bought a Mini is because I live near high wind areas. That's the only issue. It's not that I don't like them. And the Air 2S and the Air 2 both have that extra bit of power you need to get around the wind issue. So I don't really know. I really considered selling the Mavic 3. I'm not making movies, man. I'm like shooting crap, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that too. I mean, the capabilities of it are cool, but I don't see myself taking advantage of them either, to be honest with you. And, as far as the color profile and a D-Log, I mean, actually, you could do D-Log with the Air 2S,
Yeah.
And I don't even do that.
Yeah.
For the first time I tried it, it's like, oh God, why does it look so terrible? That's how little I knew about it. I was like, Oh, I gotta color grade it and all that. So I never
Well,
did.
I thought about doing the Mini 3 when it comes out, but I don't know. I'm gonna maybe sit back and watch and see what happens on this one after the Mavic 3. And Maddie made a comment here that's kind of true. He said, DJI is not going to make the same mistake twice. Well, I think one of the problems that DJI had when they put out the Mavic 3 is they put it out too damn early, and all the stuff wasn't there. So when I bought it, it was like every time you go to do something, it would say coming soon, and it was like, what the hell did I buy?
Well, I mean, they did say it was going to not have everything when they released it. Probably they did say that.
Well, yeah, and when they did the firmware, I was happy with that point. But then
Right.
when we had the problem with the remote, and that happened with getting the satellites, which they seem to have fixed, I didn't really have that many issues with it. But just it's funny too because I heard Ray Kelly talking, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "I'm gonna go out and fly today." And somebody said, "Where are you gonna fly?" "I'm flying over the water." And like, "You're gonna fly the Mavic 3?" "No, I'm gonna fly the Air 2S. I'm not. I don't want to put the Mavic 3 over the water." Too many people are uncertain right now about that drone's capabilities. They are, and I fly mine all the time, but I don't fly it over water. It's just too much money. It's too much money when it falls in.
Well, you got Carrier Fresh, right? Even Carrier Fresh is a lot of money. How much do they charge you if you use the Carrier Fresh?
I'm not sure in the U.S. Here, they don't even offer it. In Southeast Asia, it's not optional. And even though I bought mine in the U.S., I mean, it's not going to really help me. So my Air 2S, I bought from Third Eye View, and it had a refresh on it for the
Uh-huh.
U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But when I bought my Mavic 3 in the U.S., when I bought it, I asked them, I'm going back to Thailand. And I said, do you cover it? And they're like, we don't cover it there. And I actually had a guy from Italy here that texted me the other day, and they said, hey, we heard maybe you might sell your Mavic 3. Why? And I was explaining. And he said, well, can you get refresh? And I was like, you can't get refresh for anything here. They don't offer anything at all here. So I'm not sure how much it is. Maddie, how much is that if you're in the chat? How much is refresh for the Mavic 3 or the Air 2S?
Well, I mean, I just re-upped for the second year from my Air 2S, and it was $90.
Okay.
That's just for the care refresh. Then you got to pay. If you actually have to take advantage of it, there's a fee. Like the Mini 2 was a bargain. It was like $50.
Yeah.
To get your first drone if you crash it. Now the Mini 3, I let it expire mostly because I forgot. They send you an email like a week before. So if you don't, if a week and a half before, so if you don't catch it, it's gone. It's like they don't want you to take it. And go ahead.
Here you have to have insurance to fly. You have to have your documentation to fly, and you have to have your license. Each drone, they send you this package. It's got your insurance in it. So if it does fall out of the sky, they'll replace it with the insurance. And it was $150 per drone for 2 years insurance on it, and it covers up to like $80,000. So if it falls on a Mercedes and damages the car, they'll fix that. But they'll replace the drone for free with that insurance. So that is a benefit here, but you don't really need to refresh it. They just give you a new drone.
Right. I don't know. I wasn't gonna redo it, and I thought, it's $90. Well, it ended up being more because of tax. 90 something, whatever. Anyway, I don't even know how much it costs to get your first one if you take advantage of it. I should take a look at it.
Yeah, Alexa, I don't know why DJI didn't offer it here.
It says right in it. It's only good in the region in which you buy it.
Yeah, well, even when I buy them here, though, when I bought, because I have other drones that I bought here, and every single time it's like here, when you get your license and your other stuff, every time my visa runs out here and I have to go to immigration to get it restamped, I have to send a copy of my passport with a visa in it to my insurance guy, and I got to pay. It's like a communication. It's called CAT over here. It's like the ham radio operators where they got to buy the license. It's kind of like that. I have to pay it constantly, which is like I pay about 200 baht. It's $8 every time I do a visa per drone to keep it up. But that's just the rules. But I don't know why they don't offer it. They should offer it. But a lot of people in this country are really upset with DJI right now because DJI next year is going to go and do like the Apple Store did, It used to be Apple used to sell their products in like Best Buy only and stuff like that. And then they started opening up the Apple stores. Well, here in Southeast Asia, all the dealers that have been selling DJIs, they're not going to be dealers anymore because they're going to open DJI stores. Everything goes through Bangkok to the city where the airport is, the whole country. Anything comes in the country, it's got to come through there. So they just figure, well, we're just going to open stores. So all those people that have been promoting and selling their products are pissed because they're like, oh, you've turned your back on us as a dealer now. So they're going to do like they did the Apple stores. It's kind of wrong because I don't feel like the service is going to be there, and people are going to have to like travel and buy stuff online in order to get it, and they're going to lose that going into a retail store locally and having someone give you good service. So I think they're making a mistake there.
I see. I paid more money because I did it 1 year at a time. Because I paid $100 for the original one, 99, for the first year, and then 90 for the second year. But if I bought 2 years, it would have been 170. So, spend an extra $20 plus tax. But if you use the Care Refresh for the Air 2S, the first time you replace it is $119. Your second replacement's $149. And if you use the replacement available for, now I signed up for Flyaway as well, but Flyaway, your fee is $499.
Wow.
So I mean, you're covered if it just flies away into the ocean for whatever reason.
Mike B was asking here, do I have to pay for the ham radio license here? Yeah, here you have to buy that too. I don't know that much about fixed wings, people that fly the RC planes, but I've heard people say that some of those, don't you have to have like a ham radio license or something in order to operate those?
Not for RC planes, no.
Okay. Well, so yeah, but they do make us have it here. I don't know why they do it. And I had a question I was going to ask you, Bill, and I forgot. It slipped my mind, and I forgot what it was now. So I guess it wasn't that important. So how was your birthday?
Well, it wasn't. Just starting. Birthday's now after midnight.
Hey, I was the first person to say happy birthday because I'm 12 hours ahead of you.
It's all right. Yeah, you're well into my birthday there. RC planes. Let me see. License. Just to make sure I'm not lying to you. And we never needed them when I was into it.
Well, the reason is I think I heard Al Duran or somebody talking when he was getting with Fred, because I know Fred Fred is big into flying the planes, and someone had made the comment about having to have the license for that. I looked at a fixed wing here that was for sale. It said it had like a 46-kilometer distance. Does that sound right? 46 kilometers?
Probably. Let me see here. RC planes. Look at that. You need to register them with the FAA.
Yeah, Maddie said here if it's over a certain milliwatt.
That's for communication. I don't think you need it for. They got the same rules for registration as drones. Look at this. Must be registered if it's over 250 grams. That's interesting. And look at this. But there's an exception for flyers for the foreseeable future. If you fly for recreational purposes, your aircraft is flown within your visual line of sight. Well, how else would you fly an RC airplane? And
yeah, exactly.
And you don't fly around.
It's going to go 46 kilometer. Hell, you better have some.
Well, that's going to have. Yeah, that's going to have. Camera in it, obviously.
It's 11:40 in the morning. 11:40 in the morning here. Tim Jackson asked. Yeah, sometimes I have to get up early to catch Johnny's show, so I've skipped a couple of them because I've been busy.
Let me see. RC plane transmitter license. I don't think so.
I've been working on printing out some Dremel stuff. I did a really crappy video with my action too. The camera was too close. It was left to curve. It just did terrible. I posted it anyway. and it did good because I put a link to my Facebook group here that I've got in Thailand, and it just got like 1,000 hits. And I looked at my analytics, and it's like 94% Southeast Asia. But I bought this tripod thing to go on my desk, and I can hook my Dremel on it when I'm not using it, and then take it off. And it only took me a month to get it from China. Now I could have got on a plane and flown an hour and a half and picked it up and brought it home, but it did. It took a month to freaking get here. Okay, I'm gonna get off and let y'all.
I'm sorry. You got me interested, and I was taking a look here, but no FCC license is required according to this. I don't know. Okay, I would think you'd need some kind of permit to be able to fly out of line of sight, especially that far away.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
It's so different here. It's like when I first got my drone, I was so excited when I brought it because I was like, man, I'm gonna go out and fly tonight. And my wife was like, I can't do that. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, well, you got to get in touch with the people here to get your license. So I was like, well, what do I do? So I got in touch with, I guess he's a dealer. I'm not really paying him anything. So maybe he works for the government or something, but I sent him a text. And it's funny because a lot of things about the drones I didn't realize. Like you always wonder, like, you can look in your controller and see your serial number and everything else. If you'll open your battery on the Air 2S and look at the QR code and zoom in below that QR code, there's a little number under it. It's your serial number. I didn't know that. And the same, all the drones. I think the Mavic 3, when you pull the battery out on the inside, there's a QR code. So they require you to take a picture of that QR code showing you that you really own that. You got to give them 6 pictures of the drone. What else you got to give them? You got to give them the original receipt, which was easy because I printed it off from DJI, but I had to get a receipt from Third Eye View that he bought it on the Air 2S. So I had to provide a lot of stuff to get that done. And then as I got that done and sent it in, they said, okay, we got insurance. But the check sheet for the assurance was like a la carte, this. But as I started reading under it, it said like $80,000 worth of coverage. And everything was looking good until I got to the bottom line and it said bail bond. And I was like, honey, what the hell's a bail bond? Did you ask that means that they're going to come get you out of jail? She goes, well, that's if something happens and you get taken to jail, they'll pay your bail bond. I'm like, why the hell would you go to jail? If the plane crashed and it was an accident or the drone crashed and hit a car or something, she goes, no, it's not for that. What it's for is if you're flying in an unauthorized area, they don't do like in the U.S. and FAA call you and say, hey, we're going to give you a $10,000 fine. She said, they handcuff you and take you to jail. And I'm like, crap. So I was like, okay, I want the expensive plan because I don't want any of that issue. So we went flying in a state park. And she told me, I've seen other people fly. I've seen their videos. It's okay. You can fly here. It's not an issue. And you can fly here in state parks. So I was flying, and she decides that she's going to take her daughter over to the paddle boats, which means I'm alone, don't speak the language. Up runs this little skinny security guard, about 6 foot tall, 87 pounds. And all I heard from him, the money here is called Thai baht. And all I heard was a big number, something Thai baht. And I was so mad, I just wanted to reach in my pocket and throw out $400 or $500 and say, here's your money, leave me alone, I'm filming. So he's like, no drone, yelling. And here I am hovering over a mountain, like, 250 foot up over a mountain. And there's a power line and he's over here trying to talk to me. And I was like, okay. And I pulled it down and got rid of it. And she came back and was like, honey, get in the car quick, we need to leave. And she's like, well, I'm like, the security guard's pissed. I think he's called the police. I might go to jail. I was like, my blood pressure was like this. And she's like, just calm down. So we walked over to the security guard and he said, oh, it's okay if he didn't see the sign. If he didn't see the sign, it's okay that he flew. Let me tell you, we looked, Bill, and guess what? There ain't no freaking sign. There's no sign nowhere to be found.
Well, that would explain why you didn't see it, I'd imagine.
Oh, exactly. So someone flew in Bangkok, which is a no-fly zone because that's where the city is. And when you want to fly in a specific place, it's a no-fly zone. You get online and you fill out the application. You pay $5, and then you do it 7 days before you want to fly, and they'll let you fly. So I told her from on, let me know where we're going, what hotel we're at, what it is. Let's pay the money, get it done. So when someone runs up, I can put it in their face, because let me tell you, they here they look for any opportunity they can make money from foreigners. Literally, I mean, it's like if someone ran into me, it's like in the Philippines. If you're driving a car, say you're on vacation, you're driving in a car, and a motorcycle runs into you and it kills him, guess what? You got to pay his family. It ain't your fault, Bill, but you're the foreigner. You got to pay. So it's a lot of the same way here on how it works. So there are a lot of things here that I don't like, that just rub me the wrong way, because they're bending you over and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'll be really happy to come back home in July.
And it's not like you don't stand out over there either with that pale skin and.
Oh yeah, well over here where I live like near the ocean in a smaller province. It's like a fishing village, so I'm outside of that. Dude, I'm the only white guy here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like. It is funny because they look at me like I'm an alien or something. And I'm like, do I look that different than these other people? I'm taller than most of them are, because everybody here is usually like 5'4" and under. Now and then you'll get some taller guys, but it's a culture thing, dude. It's like, how it is when you fly drones, Bill, and you see people always ask, why are you so interested in flying drones? What's exciting? You've seen your whole city. You can probably drive anywhere in your city, and you just know where you're at. But when you're looking at the air, your mind is seeing something new. You're processing something new that you don't see. It's exciting, and it makes adrenaline, and that's why I love to fly drones, to see stuff from different angles that other people can't see.
That you wouldn't ever normally see. Absolutely.
No,
I totally agree with you. That's why I like it. Well, yeah, each battery would have its own serial number, Alexis, to answer that question. Each individual. You can have a serial. Batteries have serial numbers.
Yeah. Okay, I thought, was she asking, could the serial number for the drone be on the battery? No, it can't be on the battery.
No. That's, I think, where she got confused. Batteries have serial numbers, and the drone has its own serial number. But he's saying, I mean, depending on the drone, I guess it's probably in the battery compartment.
The Air 2S is under the battery, I believe. It's there.
Right.
So if you zoom in small enough, somewhere there's a number in there, because we did it before. And on the Mavic 3, it's actually inside the battery compartment in the hole. And I think it was like that in the Altels too.
Oh, look. Yeah, me too.
There you go. See? So it was, hey, I had to take it off. It's harder than hell to get a picture of that. So I had to peel it off, and then I put it back in there. Yeah, there's yours.
And well, this is the Mini 2.
Yeah.
Right there in the door.
Yeah. So you can't really tell, but if you really zoom in on their mind, there's numbers under it. And I told the guy, I said, I'll just give you a screenshot of the controller. And even in the smart controller itself, on the back, it's got a QR code built into the ink right there.
Mm-hmm.
And your serial number is under that also.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I didn't pay that much attention to the QR codes, because I figured they were just something for manufacturing. I didn't realize that they were the actual serial numbers for the units. And here, when you register a drone, like when I registered my Altels, like the one that Al has that I sent him, it's registered in my name. So I had another drone that I bought from the dealer, and I wasn't satisfied with it. And he gave me some issues about sending it back. And he's like, I'll send it back once you unregister it. I was like, why? He said, because I can't resell it. I was like, dude, That's not my problem. You need to worry about it. But I did end up going to my guy and having him unregister the drone where he could sell it. And I noticed that on some of his videos, he's flying my drone. He probably couldn't sell it because, it's used after you fly it once.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, y'all have a good night. I'm going to get out of here. I got some things I need to do. I got a 9-year-old out of school today that I got to take care of.
Put the word out if you actually want to sell that M3.
I'll do it.
I can't imagine. Yeah, I mean, I mean, have you flown it a lot or no?
Yeah, I mean, I've flown it quite a bit, not a lot. I would say, I mean, I've flown it 30 or 40 times probably. That's about it.
Yeah, I'd love to have, but what I have satisfies me. I feel like I'm going to be left out and behind. Everybody's going to be buying the M3 and the Mini 3, and now there's going to be a new. I'll tell you what's interesting. They're talking about a smaller DJI FPV that's supposedly coming out, and I just wonder if the lighter weight and or the smaller size and possibly lighter weight, maybe they're going to do something to make it a little more sturdy, for crashes, than that bigger, heavier one. Like one crash and you're done.
Well, they might make it more dense. I mean, see this little thing right here? This is 100% carbon fiber.
Right.
But let me tell you, dude, it's dense.
Yeah,
It's still going to have a weight issue where it's light as far as wind and stuff, but it's dense the way that it's made. The carbon fiber is just solid, so it's just really dense. But I don't know. I kind of felt like what you said. Everybody's buying the new drones, and it's kind of like you got to buy the new drone to stay up on it. But and that's one of the reasons that I bought the Mavic 3, because it's like, I'm going overseas, don't have any issues. Maybe I can't get a drone or don't get something. So why don't I just buy the newest one out? And when I go there, I know it'll last me long enough. When I come back to the U.S., if there's another one, I'll buy it. But you know what? When you really get down to it, they're all the drones are shooting 4K. I mean, the SE does it, and the original one doesn't. But if they're 4K, I mean, really, if you're flying them and just doing videos and pictures, it's really hard to tell the difference in it. I mean, I've got a guy here that flies the Air 2, and he does color grading. Dude, you think he's flying the Mavic 3. I mean, It looks freaking awesome. So, it was fun. Yeah, I spent the money. I mean, I bought the Matrice. Hell, the Matrice was expensive, and it was fun. But I sold it just for the fact that, hey, it was a big investment to buy, but I did get to fly it, and I got my money back out of it. But today, I mean, how many drones do you need? It's fun at first when you go out with your buddies and you got 5 drones to take, but
I mean, if you're doing it for a living is one thing. If they're tools for a business, and there's some advantage, to that. Yeah, I could see it. But just as a hobbyist, I don't know how many you're going to collect. I mean, some of you, but these guys, they love collecting them. I mean, we got David, who never even puts a video up, who's got every drone ever made, I think. AZ Drone Dude.
Yeah.
If you ever seen the pictures that he's showing us what he owns. Yeah. He owns like everything.
Yeah.
Like everything and anything that was ever made by a major drone manufacturer. And
I think Air 2S does it all. I think Air 2S does everything a GPS drone you need is really in that one package, and we're comfortable in them. I mean, you look at the record from when it first came out. I mean, the Air 2S was a great drone. I mean, the Air 2 was a great drone, but the Air 2S, I mean, other than a couple of people running them into shit because they were stupid, I mean, you don't really see that people have trouble with them, and you don't see a lot of them for sale. But I'll tell you, if the price keeps going in the right direction, I may invest in an original Air 2 because the price is going down on them. It's a good drone. You're not going to zoom with it, but I mean, it's still a really good drone. So it used to be people would ask, I'm new to drones. What should I buy? Of course, the Mini 2. It's the least expensive that you can fly. But now, I mean, if I had a choice,
least expensive quality drone that gives you 4K that you can rely on. Reliability is the thing. Exactly. There's other those like FEMI, and I mean they put out stuff that's, well, actually FEMI is not that cheap either. Not like some of them, but the quality is hit and miss, and they're unreliable. Next thing you know, they take off on you. They're toilet bowling and just a little bit of wind and like that. Now, but I know what you're saying. If you want a rock solid drone that you're going to be able to count on, the Mini 2, it's really hard to beat that, But if you want something a little heavier that is going to be able to handle even more wind in case you get surprised, because I live in a state without any mountains. Sometimes you get surprised. The winds come.
You're exactly right. Honestly, I think the Air 2. You don't really even need the Air 2S. The Air 2 would be a really good first drone that will do pretty much everything that you want to do, which you can't do in zooming. You can do in post production. You can do in your software.
Yeah, I just
So
recently saw. I think it was an Air 2 with. I don't know if it was a Fly More kit or a kit with 2 batteries and bag or whatever. It was under $800. For an Air 2.
well, the Mini 3. What bothers me about it is that damn controller. We have seen enough smart controllers from DJI, and I feel like that they're trying to do like Apple does, where they make everything proprietary, where it only works with this. Look,
Right.
if my new smart controller for my Mavic 3 will work on the Air 2S and that, make it work on the Mini 3. Don't come up with another smart controller that only works with certain ones. It needs to work with all of them. They're too expensive. This thing was $1,200 or $1,250 for this remote.
Well, that one is, but it looks like the controller is maybe $400 for the Pro, if you can believe the pricing that's been leaking out like that, because it's maybe $300 more than without it. But then don't forget, you're also giving up the controller that it would have had, so you can add that into you know what I'm saying. In other words, instead of getting the R1C, whatever it is, the standard controller, they're keeping that. So there's some value there. Say $100.
Yeah.
And then add another 300. I think it comes out to, and then you got the one with the screen in it. So it's like a $400 smart controller. So, what does that mean? What is it really going to do? And is it any good? I don't know. You see, Mandy's saying it's not going to be smart control. I understand, but what is smart? I mean, if it's got a screen on it, it's got to have the Fly app built into it.
Exactly.
If it's got the Fly app built into it, it's got to have some kind of operating system. It's probably Android, and how much smarter is a smart controller than that? What extra can you do? I mean, maybe it won't have as many outputs on it. So what? I mean, that's not really why you buy it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What makes a smart controller smarter than one with a screen and the Fly app in it? What would the difference be? Better screen? But what makes it smarter? What can it do that would make it smarter than that controller for $400?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They should just make a universal. They should make a universal, because it's the point now where I used to. I mean, when I took my backpack, dude, my backpack is like, I bought the Peter McKinnon backpack. It's worth the money if you're carrying heavy stuff for a job. It hurts my back. When I put all my drone stuff in it and take it out, I'm so happy to take it off my back. But what I didn't like was, you got your Air 2S, you had a controller. You had your Mavic 3, you had a controller. Had your Mini, you had a controller. I mean, I would like to have one controller in my drones. That way I can just pop between it and not carry that extra weight, because it builds up. And then, of course, you got a camera that you set up, so when you're filming, you can get a little bit of audio out of it or something. So it becomes heavy. So that's why I think I'm just going to sit back with the Mini 3 and see what happens, because you know what I think's great, though? And all of you guys know this that make videos out there, because we all make videos, whether we post one every week or one every 3 or 4 months. Sometimes content's hard to come by, but you know what? Some of these guys, they're making out like a bandit. They don't even have to really go out and fly, because you know what they do their video on? They do their video on the Mini 3 leaks, and it's the same crap that you watch on 40 other channels, and they do it just so they can keep putting content out. I'm not interested in throwing out a bunch of leak videos. Oh, here's the new leak. We don't know what the hell it is. I mean, so I just watch them and see what they say.
Yeah, I'm a little leaked out.
I am too. I mean, everybody's like, have you heard the leak? And I'm like, well, they all come from the one guy that's got his name, and they always tell you who it is. Why should I watch your video? I just watched the leak from him over on this other channel. I'm just kind of like, it's like they recycle. They recycle the news in their YouTube videos, and I'm like, come on, guys, be a little more original. I would prefer when a video pops up and says, hey, you subscribe to this channel and they got a video, I would much rather watch it knowing that I'm not going to watch a rerun of yesterday's news that I just saw. And I can see because I'm interested in what the YouTuber's doing, what they're flying, how they're flying, where they're flying. I'm not interested in the leaks. I hear that from the source. We're all the little guys. You got Ken Herron, you got Dobo, you got Billy Kyle. You got like 4 or 5 big guys. They got the news. and everybody else recycles their news. Come on, why? Just
Billy
relax.
Billy Billy Kyle
Yeah.
just released a video recently. A year later, what's the best overall drone for DJI?
Yeah.
Air 2S. Yeah, he actually
Yeah.
picked the Air 2S. He said, "Does that mean it's the most advanced and best drone?" No, that would be the Mavic 3. He said, but overall, because of value and what you get for it and usability and that he makes a really good long argument that the Air 2S is the best drone they've put out so far.
Yeah.
So I feel good about my purchase.
You know, it's funny though, because with the Mavic 3, anybody that has the Mavic 3, all the people that don't have the Mavic 3, and it's funny because what was it? The Mavic Pro 2. I mean, it's not a new drone. It's an older drone. Of course, it has a great lens on it. It's a great camera, but it's like their sword they pull out. I've got a Mavic 3. I've got a Pro 2. I'm like, some of these drones are getting so old that DJI is not even supporting them anymore. The Matrice that I bought, they don't support it and they don't sell it anymore. And it's $20,000 drone.
The only way I would consider a pro, the pro controller, is if it supported all the drones. If it supported all of them. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say all that use the Fly app at least. You know what I mean? All that use that app. But even better than that, you should be able to put the Go 4 app. You should be able to load that on there. You should, just like any phone.
But what happens when you buy it? You know what happens when you buy it though? The new controller controls all these. The day you buy it, 6 months later, DJI puts out a new drone, and guess what? The controller doesn't work with it. They want you to buy a new controller. So it's like, damn. It's like, it finally gets to a point where it's just like enough already with the smart controllers. I mean, like you said, what makes it smart? What options? I don't really notice that many different options from the old smart controller that I was using with the Air 2S than this new controller. I don't really notice that much difference.
No, I mean, besides, it's got OcuSync 3 instead of OcuSync 2 support. But as far as what makes it a smarter controller, I don't know. Got a better screen.
If you look at a lot of the controllers, they say,
processor.
This controller goes so much further out. Well, let me ask you, Bill, when you fly, do you max out your distance when you fly? I don't.
I have.
I know you have. But from 1 to 10, where do you max out on your daily flights? When you normally fly, what do you max it? 5?
I mean, if I'm feeling spiffy, I the most a mile, and it's
okay.
I don't go, and I shouldn't even do that, but typically not even that far, 3,500. I did put it over 3 miles once, which was a mistake. We had to get in the car and go get it. It was too much wind on the way back. 63% became 0 pretty quickly on the battery.
That the other smart controls have better penetration around stuff. It's not always about how far, and that's true. But when I've flown here in the city, sometimes I'll fly from a hotel, and of course it picks up all that metal and rebar in the hotel, and it says you got to calibrate. Both controllers do the same penetration in a lot of areas. Between the old one and this new one, maybe not when you get super far out, but like I said, I'm not going that far out. So,
and that's another thing too. I bought. As far as the screen is concerned, I don't have my phone nearby. I bought the OnePlus's last year's. What do they call that? The flagship. Last year's flagship, which is the 9 Pro 5G. Now they got the 10 Pro is just coming out just now. But because it's last year, I get one less year of updates and whatever. So it went from $1,100 down to $729, and it's got 12 gigs of RAM. It's got I got the 256 gig, drive on it, space on it. It's got the 888, last year's best processor. Now there's one. So, I mean, it's a pretty badass phone. And for the screen on it's incredible, and so on and so forth. All the best of the best, just from less than a year ago, 11 months ago, for $729, and that thing with the correct settings will get you 1,366 nits. So it's already got more than even a what do you call tech, triple tech. So
Yeah.
I think this. I mean, as far as the ultra bright screens are concerned, they've come way down in price. So it's very possible, and don't forget it's a Chinese product. All these companies share their sources. It's very possible it'll have a 1,000 plus nit screen on that little controller for that M3, and and that would sell me on that drone if I could use that controller with my Air 2S.
Yeah.
It would. So I wouldn't have to pop my phone on it on that, and there are times I'd like to have my phone separate from. It'd be very convenient to have that controller with the screen in it. There is a convenience to that, but it would have to be bright enough. I live in Florida. You know what I mean? You need
Yeah.
some brightness here, and no matter I know all the Apple heads out there that love their phones, their iPhones, and like that. They just got to admit that they get dark, in the sunlight with a little heat, and they start dimming and get dark and get hard to see. And who needs that, But that thing is. But then back to that again. It's not that hard to believe that they could put a really bright screen in that controller because it's not. I guarantee it's not going to have anywhere near the processor my phone has in it. Even the triple tech is like 4-year-old technology. The
Yeah.
better
I
one.
bought the I bought the triple tech, and I
Yeah.
sold it because I paid $750 for it. And my problem was the damn thing's like it makes it top heavy when you put the adapter for it to fit on. It's constantly doing like that, and it's funny
And then you
because
gotta
they
use- you wanna
advertise and they say, "Oh, there's a strap on the back. Just strap it to the antennas." Shit, that stuff it don't hold in place. So I did the
Yeah.
math. I was like, $750, smart controller, used 500 off eBay, sold it, bought the smart controller. Then they made this one compatible, the new smart controller, turned around and sold it. So
So
I
you
don't
have the
know.
new you have the new one then. You have the
I got
RC.
new,
Do you like
yeah,
using it?
yeah, and I love it. It's
Yeah.
it's good. I've not live streamed from it yet because I thought it would have Google app on it where you could download the app, but you have to like go search it in Safari or whatever it came on it and download the app. And then I would have to connect the Wi-Fi from there to my cell phone where I could live stream through it. I wanna do that, but I want to give some time because the issue is when you're losing connection in your flat drops on your controller, maybe you switch screens or something, and it goes into to return to home. So I'm gonna have to kind of take my time and going through it. But I like the triple tech; it was good, but it was too heavy. That was the main thing. It was just too heavy. Even I thought I use it for a tablet when I go out during the day and then use it to fly. I just never used it. I really didn't.
Yeah. He's talking about you using a tablet. I have a tablet, but I'm not going to spend $700-800 for a tablet that's going to perform like my phone does. I have a Samsung. I don't know, with the 8.4. And it works, but it's not. It's a little, let's say, laggy, but you can tell it's not the same. It's not the same. The phone rips. And but then plus there's the advantage that I share internet from it to the tablet, so that way I can actually see if I because I live stream a lot, as everybody knows, right from the drone, and I keep the tablet nearby, and I share the internet from the phone to the tablet because it's not a cell tablet. Well, it is, but I don't have an account for it. So that's all pretty good, and I'm fine and I'm happy with that. But if I had my druthers, well. Is the Mini 2 is not compatible with the RC Pro yet, is it? Or is it?
No, it's
No.
not.
See, that'd be awesome. To have one ring to rule them all.
Yeah, it would. It would be
Yeah.
nice, and that's my catch with the new Mini 3. I'm going to sit back on this one and let a couple of people buy it first and see how it does before. The reason I wanted to buy it is when they first came out and showed the pictures before all the leaks came. You know how the legs on the Mavic 3 were more like this, where it kept the gimbal off the ground more? They showed the Mini 3 being that way in their initial shots, and I was like, hey, they'll be like twins. I can have a little one and a big one. And maybe it has more power where it would do better with the wind. And, of course, it's going to have a better camera on it. But now, after everything going on with the Mavic 3 and everything else, I was like, I got 6 drones. What do I need another drone for right now? So I'm going to wait.
Yeah, and you got to you would assume it was going to have more power to deal with the wind a little bit, but you can't assume that because the Autel didn't. The
Yeah,
Autel's
you're
not
right.
as the Autel is not as good in the wind because they can't. If you want to get more flight time and you have all these extra systems built into that, and their systems they all take power, obstacle avoidance and everything else. Uh, uh, to keep it at least the same as it is now, you can't increase you can't increase the motors
Yeah.
strength because you'd be draining the battery too much.
You,
I mean,
from the
unless they get
leaks, did you notice the props on the leaks? How the props are at an angle? Do you think that helps any as far as like windage or more might get a little bit more speed because it has more tilt to it? Because that's the
I
issue with the all tail. The all tail flies like a damn pizza box.
yeah
Seriously, it really does.
yeah
Unless you
yeah
put it in quote ludicrous mode, it flies like a pizza. It's flat.
yeah yeah. Well, I'd imagine that's the idea. Is to be
It
able to
had a good
handle it.
picture on it, but again, when I bought it to fly. I sent it to Al. Something happened. We got to get it fixed. It took a landing with Al somewhere. I don't know what happened. It had Jello before, so they still got to fix that. But there's an issue with it now, so Al's going to send it in for repair, and then we'll see what happens. And then we got the Nano Light that I got, which is on its way to him. So I just buy them and send them to him, let him do his reviews on them, and then he can either keep it or we can sell it and get the money back out of it.
Well, we understood how they did it between the Mini 1 and the Mini 2. Made the Mini 2 stronger because they changed the batteries. They went from Lions to Lipos. So they were able to do lighter batteries that had more burst power, the ability to handle the breeze and like that, because they're talking about this in there. But there is no new battery technology at the moment that they're putting in drones that I know of. Not yet,
Yeah.
So, like I said, either if it's going to be, I think it'll be about the same if they're lucky. I mean, they somehow kept it. I saw that one video. They said it's 245 grams. Well, the old drone is 230. Mine is 238 grams. I have a fairly accurate scale I bought. So they only gained 7 grams, and it's got all kinds of sensors and a bigger camera. And so where did they lose the weight? How did they do that? I mean, is it? I'd be afraid to crash it. I'll tell you that.
Well,
The Mini two.
You know how that door lifts up on the back of the drone you just showed me?
Yeah.
And had the QR code on it? Well, my brother crashed his into the side of the building where his office is, and it fell off. So he lost a couple grams on his.
Yeah. I saw that. You could see it. It's still on there. It's fine, but you can see my hinges went through a little stress. It's like a little whiteness to the plastic right there. I'm thinking, I'm gonna lose this. So I actually bought one. Actually, it's still sitting there because I didn't want to ruin my warranty. Now I'm past a year, so.
Well, what did you buy? You talking about the door hinge?
Yeah, the door itself.
They sell them. I mean, eBay. I mean, it must be a big thing. Maybe it's because it's such a lightweight in that area right there.
Yeah. You break those hinges real easy. But then what I figured out was to replace it, you got to split the drone in half. You can't just replace it easily, and you do that, and they know you were in there, so that's it. It's all over.
What I'm waiting for that I'd like to see is and one thing that could make that drone lighter is right now they make them with ABS. That's what it's made from. Those drones are made from ABS material.
Right.
They could use carbon fiber.
Yeah.
It's strong. I mean, the difference between plastic, you just wouldn't believe the difference between the plastic and the carbon fiber. And they can use it in injection molding. If they made it out of carbon fiber, I mean, maybe it's just too much of a process. It would make it a lot lighter and it's strong.
Yeah. It's more brittle though, isn't it? I mean, if you have to make it too thin for the weight, isn't that the issue?
Well, like this one here, let me show you the difference between regular ABS and this. Hold on. We'll find the difference here. Find the right part. Okay, look at the difference. This is what the drones is made out of. This is ABS, but thin. Okay. See the warpage? See how thin it is?
Right.
Look at the carbon fiber. Half the weight. Look. No warping. Now, this is a mixture of PETG and carbon fiber together. So you're getting a little bit of flexibility and you're getting your strength too. But I mean, the difference between these two in weight, it's half the weight, easily half the weight. And honestly, this here was printed so thin. I got some other parts here, like these parts were printed so thin that they're like a cheesecloth. But the way that they support the stuff on the inside, I mean, it is really, really strong. So if they would make something like this, they can shoot it with it. It's made from injection mold machines. They could inject this with no problem at all. Other people do it on products.
Yeah.
That would help on the weight. That'd be one issue.
I've actually brought it up but I didn't know if I was talking out of turn, whether the cost would be too much or whether the advantage.
The price is a little. You're paying 3, 6, 9, 12. You're paying here. We pay $15 a roll for all the materials except for carbon fiber. Carbon fiber costs 3 times more. It's more expensive, and of course, it's mixed with a regular plastic, which is PETG, but still because the carbon fiber in there. But when I print something out, it's like, you know, when you work with fiberglass, how you get that hairy stuff in it. You get a lot of it mixed in with the carbon fiber, which all we really do is we take a torch, a cigarette lighter that's a torch, and go over it, and it kills all the little spider webs. But they could make it out of that. They did the.
I think that'll happen. That'll happen sooner or later.
Didn't they do the?
And that could be that. Maybe that's where they're going with the new. That's what I was thinking with the new DJI FPV. If they were going to.
No. I tell you what, the Altel did it. They did it on their legs. They did it on the legs. They're carbon fiber on the light. They're light. They are carbon fiber, and it needed to be, because let me tell you, that damn battery that's in the light, the Nano Light Plus, it's a brick. Yeah. When you pull it out, it looks like someone cut a brick in half. It's that heavy. You take that out of the drone's light. The weight.
Well, that drone has like a 40-something minute flight time, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, for $1,800.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
It's all in the picture.
I saw a lot of unfair comparisons between that and the Air 2S. It's like the drone is nearly twice as much money. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. It's not. Right. It's not. Give it DJI $1,800 and see what they would give you for that.
All the money that was spent in Altel was in flight time and in the camera. That's it. The image from the camera. I mean, honestly, the Nano, the smaller drone, has got equivalent or as good of a camera as the Air 2S has. But the light does have a better camera. It's up there. I mean, it's really, really clear. But like I said, it's flight time and camera. That's all you're really getting out of it. It's heavy, dude. It's a heavy drone. I'm really surprised that they gave it a 46-minute flight time. By the way, it doesn't fly 46 minutes. It goes 32 max is the most I've ever had on it.
Yeah. Well,
and that's in good conditions.
I'm glad you came in because I was running out of gas. I appreciate you. But I'm gonna call it.
Like no one else is there. I'll pop in and see what's going on because
I appreciate that. I really, really do.
I miss some of the other guys' live streams. I miss Maddie's and I miss Johnny sometimes, and I need to get back on and start. I'm just in the middle of, we're trying to get ready to move and just got the stuff yesterday telling us when we're going to move. And then my wife's like, we're going to put an addition on the garage. And I'm like, great, when? She goes, oh, they're going to do that. And then we're going to move in. I was like, no. We're going to move in. They can work on the garage. She's like, why? I was like, because I'm going to have to go over there every day anyway. I'd rather just be there so I can see what tools walk off and what tools don't walk off. I don't want to leave my house with just nobody there. So anyway, it says right here, it said my next 3D printer will be with LW lightweight filament. Yes, that's a good point, and that is actually a strong. It's a strong filament. It's hard to print. You know that foam you use, Bill? You see people putting in trailers. They spray it and it goes like that.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
what this LW does. So when you buy a 3D printer, Alexa, look up a 10 log. It's called a 10 log TL03 Pro. It's a dual extruder. It's what I use because I looked at I don't get any money from this, but I like it because I can do two colors. The nozzle heat is higher than a lot of the enders are. And when you get ready to print something that takes high heat, you can't do it on a lot of those printers. This one will print out all of them. It's $530, right in that range, for everything that you need with it. Great support. Uh, Mine's been running for like just about nonstop for like a month and a half. Never had an issue with it.
Which ender do you have? You have an ender, you said.
Yeah,
Which
I've got
what model?
No, I don't have an ender. I have a 10 log, is what it's called.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
10 log.
10 log?
10 log, yeah. You can get enders are cheaper. You can get an ender for $300. But the issue you're going to have, depending on which one you get, is the bed size and the nozzle temperature. Plus, like when I want to print something out here, I could download a design or just come up with my own design, put it on the SD drive, and put it in the machine. Or unplug the USB and just send it back and forth. I don't have to buy what is it, a BlackBerry or a Blueberry? What do they call the little computer? What is the little Android thing that everybody's talking about they buy and you're hooking up to do stuff?
Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, it's a Pi. They hook those
Oh.
up to the enders so things can
Oh,
talk
do
and
they?
all that. Well,
Yeah,
with this one,
Raspberry Pi, they've been around a long time.
yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
it's touchscreen. It's all touchscreen, Alexa. So everything's touch. You don't have to go in a program. You don't have to twist a knob and hit enter and twist a knob and go to. It's all touchscreen. It's in my case, I bought it. It's got a bigger plate and it does higher heat. That's the benefits that you get. So
You see, the reason I'm asking is because sooner or later I'm going to want it. I definitely want to start doing that. Getting a 3D printer. I want the one that's going to be able to put foodstuffs in it, so I can make sandwiches.
but they had those. I saw that. I was like, well, that's kind of.
I've heard that.
You know, the thing is, though, there's so many people out there now that once you get a 3D printer and pay for it, you realize that when you're going to these websites where they give you free designs that you can download and print out, you learn that there are a lot of companies and places out there like Cult 3D is one. There's another one called Thingiverse. You can actually get on there and print out from your one that you buy all the plastic pieces you need and buy the motor kit and parts, and you can build your own 3D printer, a bigger one. But you need a 3D printer to make those parts to be able to do it. And you can
So what did you say it was called? A Tinder?
Yeah, no, it's called a 10 log, TENLOG. And I love the product. One thing to keep in mind, because when I first got into it, I thought, okay, I need all the colors of the rainbow so I can build what I want. Well, you got to pay attention. It's not just color. There's different types of material. You've got PLA. You've got, so I didn't think about that. And I bought all PLA, and then I realized, man, how come this camera won't go, my action cam won't go in this mount? There's no flex. There's no this. And then I was like, oh, crap, I should have bought TPU. So it can get expensive when you start buying a bunch of the different rolls on the different stuff. But when I talked to this guy, these were the sticks that I showed you the last time that go on the smart controller.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to him and I said, man, what TPU is this? Because TPU comes in two, a little bit stiffer one, which is still flexible, and a real soft one. And it's like, dude, is this 85? This is like the softest thing. And he goes, no, dude, it's rubber. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah. He said, we actually injection mold this in rubber. And he's like, we source the rubber from this particular country and they make it for us over there and send it to us. And I was like, I told my wife, we got rubber trees here. And they tap them. They tap them like maple syrup. And they hang a coconut under them that's cut in half. And when the sun shines, it fills with rubber and it's white. Coolest thing you ever seen. I was like, how can I figure out how to use that or make a filament? So yeah, but yeah, when you get ready for a printer, I've been talking with this company, they gave me a $30 discount. And then when I bought my materials, I wanted to try some ABS, which is a real harder, but has some flexibility to it. It's the kind of stuff you could make a keyboard out of and throw in your car and go back in 100-degree weather and it'll look the same. TPU, that most stuff's made out of, if you throw it in your car and it's 100-degree weather and you come back, it's like this, and it bows up.
Right.
When I started to print the ABS, I got this terrible headache, and the whole house stunk, and I realized it's the only filament so far I found that you can't print without having an enclosure or having an exhaust fan to take it out.
Now they've got 3 different models, it looks like, on their page here.
You want to get the TLD3 Pro is the one you want. It should list for $560. But if you decide to get one, they gave me $30 off on mine. I could call the lady and just say, hey, you want one? You can get them in the U.S. because they've got them there. They ship mine from China, but yours, it might show that it's coming, but it's in U.S. already.
Yeah, they're showing up on Amazon, actually. TLD3 Pro. There's one for $520.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, well, that's this, and here's the exact same one for $649. Wait, upgrade BMG extruder. All right, so that's got an upgrade on it.
Yeah.
Did you get any upgrades on yours? Here's another one.
Every option they had on there, and I paid $530. It was $560. They gave me $30 off because I said,
yeah, here's one that says $569 was $599 allegedly. 10 log TLD3 Pro, independent dual extruder, 3D printer, 300-degree high temperature nozzle, silent main boards, TMC 28208 drive, 600-watt power supply, support PVA, TPU, ABS, PLA, direct feed. But you said you're printing with carbon fiber or no?
PETG and fiber mix, yeah, because you can't print straight carbon fiber.
Right.
Carbon fiber is like fiberglass in it.
Right. But what's that mixed with?
PETG.
PETG.
Yeah, PETG is harder. It's a harder material.
I don't see that on here.
I don't see carbon fiber either, but it printed it because when you buy your filament on your filament roll, like this is TPU here, when you buy it, it'll tell you on here what your print temperature is. I don't know if you can see it there. See, it says print temperature 190 to 210.
Right.
This is TPU. This is the soft material that they make like the GoPro mounts and stuff for the FPVs. It's like spaghetti, and it comes out soft.
Well, for $649, they got this other one here on Amazon. Also, the TLD3 Pro, independent dual extruder 3D printer. Here. What am I doing?
It's probably there are people buying them and reselling them probably.
Ding dong, I am. Here you go. I don't know if you can read that. So that's got a upgrade BMG extruder.
Well, actually, it shows on here 11 by 8, 11 by 8, 13 by 8. Mine's got a 12.5 bed on it. Mine's got a little bigger bed, and it's like a piece of glass. And it's like, I'm printing out. Let me see what I'm printing out right now. I'm actually printing in carbon fiber right now, and I'm printing out some props. See if I can turn the camera here a little bit. Can you see that?
Yeah. Hold on. I can see it. Let me.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So it's printing out four props at the same time with just the one extruder, and then I've got this extruder. But one thing I recommend to people is when you get your material, you want to keep the moisture out of it. So you can buy a dryer to put in it, but the dryers are $50 a piece. So I bought a camera lens dehumidifier that keeps it dry, and I just turned it sideways and put a pole on the inside, and it holds 16 colors, and it just pulls directly down over the machine. It's the better way to do it because you'll spend $150 to get that rack, And then you just put a pole in it, put a 3-inch pole and put it through these. And then I drilled a hole in the bottom of the rack for all the colors to pull through. And I put a guide tube up in there, glued a guide tube so it wouldn't scratch on the metal. I paid $150. Or I could have just bought 3. I've got, 12, 13, 14 colors up in there right now. It's just too much to hassle. Just buy the rack. It's got the heater and everything built into it.
So this is here. I'll show this. Share.
Having the
This
two extruders make it good, Bill. You'll want that.
This is their website, I think.
That's the one I've got. That's the exact one I've got.
Oh, got a warehouse in the United States, I guess. Yeah, because it says 560.
Yeah. But if the time comes you want it, tell me, and I'll chat with the people on there because I've been talking with them, and I'll just say, hey, look, I got somebody that bought it, and then they'll at least give you the $30 off like they gave me. If you're gonna print ABS, if you'll look on there, there's an option for an enclosure, and it looks like a little square tent that fits over the top of it.
Right.
I didn't buy it, Bill, because honestly, I don't think I'm gonna print with ABS anymore. It's too damn smelly. It's just too smelly. But the advantage with a dual extruder is you can use a regular ender that's got a 1 extruder, and you can do like an image or whatever your design is, and then you can stop it and change colors and print over the top of it. But the problem you get is when you restart printing, you're printing over something that's cold. It doesn't bond good to it. Where if you have the other extruder, you can say, okay, at level 40, that's it. At level 14 or whatever it is in your design, switch colors. Extruder 1 will jump out of the way, and extruder 2 comes in and picks up. Your mold is still hot. Because, man, you can get drop systems for Air2S. Look on a website called Cult 3D, and you'll see all the designs that people have. Type the name of your drone in. Everything made for that drone. There's drop systems. There's landing gear. There's propeller, those propeller guards. They're all in there. And I mean, they're made of the same material, and you can print them yourself and not have to worry. And let me tell you, 1 roll is a kilo. These are half rolls because they're TPU, but you get 1 kilo. Dude, 1 kilo, you can do a lot of printing with 1 roll, a lot.
Glad you shared this with me. I'm very interested in this.
And
I'd like to try to buy one, you know. Yeah, and as far as the smells, I might set it up in the garage, you know.
Well, if you just don't buy, just start off, buy a roll of PLA and buy some TPU. Just buy those 2 materials, and then when you buy it, you want to buy some glue sticks like these. And what I do is before it starts to print and the bed is heating up, I'll take this and just wipe it on where my design's going. Right. And this will help ensure that design doesn't break loose, because a lot of people say, oh, if you get the temperature right in this, every filament from every company is going to act different. So I put a little bit of this on it first. And then if it's tall, like I print out stuff like this, that's thin and tall, that's the only thing that holds it. So what I do after it prints the base, I'll take super glue on that glass, and I'll go around the edge here. And of course, the glass is hot. It dries like that. It ain't coming off. And then when I'm through, where people say they ruin their prints by digging it up with a spatula, my wife gets these little razors that women use like on their eyebrows, like that. I'll get up under the edge of it like this, just a little. And then I'll put my spatula under here and just pull it through. And it comes right off, and this is carbon fiber. Mm-hmm. And it comes off fine. So I've got too many friends that have enders, and you know, you can print TPU on anything. It's soft. It can be a crappy printer. It doesn't really matter. But when you start printing bigger stuff and in different materials, you're going to wish you invested that little bit of extra money. And my machine, the way I've got it set up here, is if I've got a 10-hour print, I'll start it. Me and my wife go to dinner and come back in 3 hours. We never have an issue with this machine. Never.
Well, just the fact that you've been using it for like a month and a half straight without any problems. I like the sound of that. Because
I've had problems. I've had problems with getting certain stuff to stick to the plate.
okay.
Because when I first started printing, I would do what they call full support, which means that when I print something, it lays a square down under it first and then prints my print on the top. The problem is you can't get the damn thing off the bottom of your print hardly without breaking the print. So then they have another one that when you print, it leaves like 4 layers of material around the outside first, which I like because it like weeds out all the air bubbles and everything. And if you do a color change, and then it starts the design and they're connected and it gives a little more support. But I always dab just a little bit of hot glue around that part that you peel off. And this is an example here. You can see a little bit of a lip here.
Right.
The white is actually the super glue, but that's that little lip. So, and I don't mind about that because when I'm through, you can get one of these. It's got a little blade on it.
Right.
And it moves around. So when you get ready to trim something, you just put it here.
You're below the screen.
Whoops, sorry. You just shade the edges like an apple with this. That's what it's made for. And it'll take those little areas off.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Very nice.
But I've done a lot of printing. I've got a guy that works at the university here and they teach 3D printing. And he's a buddy of mine. So he came over and gave me the 101. He's like, I'll save you some time. Buy some glue. Anything that's not flat, that's not going to stick, you want to put a little bit like when I printed this.
Right.
There's not a lot of anything holding it down. So when it put the little brim around the outside, I put a little bit of super glue around it and it'll never come up. So he's really saved me a lot of time. But I printed out like so many different of these and different materials just to see how it would come out. I make these here are made in ABS. These are we sell these here. And I've got a drone group here. Mm-hmm. It comes with this, an upper and a lower carbon fiber. Here's the top part of it. For a 14 millimeter cameras, $39.99. You can get one similar for $100 off Amazon. It takes me 8 hours to print 4 of these on the plate. I'll put 4 on there when it prints them off.
What's that cost you in materials?
4 of them, $2, maybe the most, maybe. I mean, I've been printing on this carbon fiber roll, which is not as actually big a roll as the other filaments, for like a week and a half, and I've still got a quarter of the roll left. Just printing out a bunch of the carbon stuff on these.
One more time. I'm sorry. What is it that you're blending with the carbon fiber? What is it called?
PETG. PETG.
PETG.
Yep, PETG. It does really, really well with it because it's probably, I'm going to guess, it's probably 75% carbon fiber. It's just enough PETG to hold the fibers together for the carbon fiber, and that's it. But on Amazon, all that stuff costs like, all that stuff costs like $25, $30 per roll. Dude, it goes a long ways. Now, the carbon fiber is going to be more expensive. But if you look up PETG and carbon fiber mix, it'll be in there.
Yep, there it is. Paramount 3D PETG and carbon fiber black, 1.75 millimeter, 1 kilogram, $36.
That's actually a good price for that.
Is it? That's on Amazon.
Yep.
Here's another one. ZIRO. Carbon fiber PLA. Oh, we wanted to do PETG.
Yeah, you want to do PETG.
Yeah, it's a little less. That's less money. $27.
Alexa says she doesn't have any problem with her her Ender 3 Pro. It's got a magnetic mat. Yeah, and actually, Ender actually makes a lot of mats for other companies that they sell that you can put, because it's just a heat bed in a certain diameter when you put it on there. But with mine, actually, mine's just glass. I just like the glass that it comes with, because it's got the bottom of the glass is kind of like, they got some of those touch screen ovens that you use in the kitchen that are all glass tops, and they got, like, I don't know, the on off buttons and all that are electronic where you just touch them. Whatever they use to paint that with is like a metal. They've got that on the bottom of the glass here, so it conducts that heat from the metal up in through the glass. And I just put a little bit of this glue on there, and nothing's coming off. And I mean, I printed some. You can see I printed some big stuff. Look, that's big, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
My wife's Buddhist. I was like, I'll make you a Buddha. I just wanted to see how the printer would actually do. But look at the detail.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
It's just
pretty awesome.
But it's amazing that we had this technology here. And I laughed when they first came out with 3D printers, and they said they expect in the future for every home to have a 3D printer. And when you need something, you can make it. Honestly, there's so many free files on the internet now where you can just download stuff and print it. I've got a guy here that's in Thailand that was a friend of Chuck's from Covaction. Mm-hmm. And Chuck said, look, I got a friend that lives in Thailand, and he needs something 3D printed. So the guy called me, and he's like, look, I got a espresso or a coffee machine or something expensive. And he goes, the button broke off of it, and I need a new button. And the button was like 3 inches in diameter by 1 inch in height, and had a dial on it with all the numbers. And he said, I got the STL file for it. I said, send it. I printed it out in carbon fiber and sent it back to him. And now he uses his coffee machine.
It's really cool. Very cool.
You make stuff like this too, Bill. Look, these are hooks that screw onto the wall, and then your drone fits on them. Right. Your legs fit there.
You were showing that. Yeah, I saw that. That was a good idea. Well, you're finding all. Huh?
You need this printer, or you need a 3D printer. I mean, there's so much cool stuff we can make with it.
I need a new deck on my rider more.
I don't know if it would make that. It probably make it only how strong it'd be.
Yeah, to make it in sections, I guess, and glue it together, I guess. Yeah.
I'm printing something now that I've shown you a couple of pieces. I haven't said what it is. Alexa, don't say what it is, because Alexa can probably pick up on what it is. But here's a couple of pieces to it, and I won't give any hints exactly what it is, and I shouldn't have to. If you got
pretty good idea what it is.
It's 1.6 meters is what I'm printing out. Okay. I'm having to do it in 36 parts. But when I get done, it's going to be something that's going to be beautiful piece of work. It better be. I've been working a week and a half on it.
Well, she's 3D printing a plane herself right now, an RC plane.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what she. Yeah, that's what she. Yeah, you knew that. Okay, that's what she was saying.
Yeah, this one's different. This is a straight fixed wing with one prop in the back, and it's all FPV, so you could fly it with your controller.
Akarasha was asking who the Gerber twins are. See, that one is me. Yeah, I'll cover up my brother. It's funny how we got the same shaped head, isn't it?
Transformation of how old were you there, Bill?
Oh, I don't know. 2, maybe. I don't know. Pretty young. Mike's 10 and a half. We're Irish twins. We're the same age for 6 weeks a year. So they call it Irish twin. How insulting is that? Anyway, he's a baby there. So what do you figure? He's sitting up a year, maybe. He was a big boy. He was almost 11 pounds at birth.
Maybe he looks like he could be top heavy. Might be a little under the neck. I can tell.
So maybe 2, I guess. How cute, huh? I can't do that face anymore. I'm not that cute.
The pouting.
But that was 60 years ago. This is what 60 years does to you. 59. But anyway, Robbie, thanks for all your information. You got me. I've made my decision, and when I'm ready to go, that's the guy. why not buy something that can do everything you need it to do instead of working your way up?
Well, when you get ready, I will have the lady from the company text you, and then you can go to their website and chat with her. And then one thing you may consider that I bought extra is I bought a new piece of glass, an extra, just in case, because hell, I might drop it one day and I don't have to wait to get it. So I bought an extra piece of glass. They make different size nozzles, Bill, so you can pump out more for different projects. They're like 90 cents a piece. They make 8 different ones. So I bought 2 each of those. And then it's got a little rubber piece that goes up around the extruder for protection to keep the heat away. So, I mean, I bought everything and I paid $26 for the glass, everything with free delivery. That way, if anything, because I always thought, man, if the belt broke, where the hell would I buy a belt? So I went to their website. The set of belts was $4. So
Cool.
maybe I'll get the lady to throw in some previews or something, because if she can see that somebody's buying from me talking about it, maybe she's more willing to work. Because she told me, she goes, if you can get someone to buy 1 or 2, she goes, I'll return your money on yours. I was like, I'll work on it if it prints good. But I printed enough stuff on it now that we've probably printed and sold close to 50 of these. Every one of them has been made perfect. We've not had any issues in like 6 colors. Not once have we had an issue with them.
Oh, so you've obviously got your money back out of this thing many times, huh?
Well, I posted one, and one of the guys in my drone group here, because, my World Drone community, we got 1,500 people. And a lot of people, and then like Old Farts for Drones, he got like 8,000 people. But let me compare the difference on a lot of these groups. Mine's private, which means that you have to be approved to come in. These other groups that have thousands and thousands of people, anybody can join. Just, oh, it's cool, click it. They're not people that are in our system, in our groups that are doing stuff. And that's what I like about my 1,500 people that are in there, because they're the same. But here we have 86,000 people in the group, in my drone group here. Really? And it's probably a lot of extra people, but man, it's so much more active here in Asia on my 3D printing group and in my drone group than it is in US or anywhere. Because you can ask a question, dude, you'll get 100 people that'll respond to you here. So when I posted the first picture of this, they said, well, there's a lot of whoops out there. Maybe the price is not that good. And then I sent them a picture of all of it. And they're like, oh, the carbon fiber comes with it. They're like, we'll buy it. So I sold one. And then the guy told me, he said, hey, I got the product. I got the props and everything put in, which is not part of the kit. You just get this, the upper and the lower, that's carbon fiber. He said, man, it's balanced good. It's a great product. He goes, I've got a hobby shop. He goes, let's try 50 of them. He said, I got people now that want them. And I sell them for $39.99. He sells them for $60. So he said, give me a week and I'll do another order. So he's selling them in the groups here. So, but I did send the design to USA. So my brother eventually will print them out there and we'll market them there. Because I had a company made the bags where you can open it up and take it out and look at it, put it back in. That way, when they're in a retail store and they grab it, it's got the World Drones information on there. So
you said 86,000, right? Or 8,600?
8,600 what?
People.
Oh, 86,000 people in the group here.
Wow, that's amazing.
No, exactly. And that's one thing. Alexa, I'll send you a link to the 3D printing group here. Of course, a lot of it's in like Thai language, which if you use Chrome, it'll translate.
Every time you say your name, you're turning on my Alexa.
Oh, sorry. But I'll send you that link, because that's really helped me learn a lot of stuff on the 3D printing. When I first had issues, I would go on there and ask, how do you do this? Like I was having trouble putting a logo over something and knowing when to change color. And then a guy responded and he's like, look, when you open up the product, he said, you got the full model already there. He said, there's a scroll bar on the right. When you scroll down, you'll see your design disappearing. And when you roll it up, it'll disappear. He said, go down to where the logo starts and look and see what line it's on. And then go to the top and hit edit G code. And it's called pause. And you hit pause and what line it is. And then you hit change color. And when it gets to that layer, the code automatically knows to move the extruder over. I'd have never figured that crap out. I had a dual extruder and I was going to use one and do a quick color change. And the guys were like, you got a dual extruder. So I learned most of my stuff from the guys here. So when you have a big group like that, it's kind of like these live streams that we have. We teach each other stuff. And it makes the learning process. It's kind of like, I use an example, the kids' math today that they learn, oh my God. I mean, and when I graduated high school, the top thing you could take was algebra. We didn't have all this stuff back where I went to high school. Today, the learning techniques are so quick on learning stuff different. And that's where these live streams come in. So a lot of you guys that are and gals that are in this live stream listening to us now, you're all our friends. We all know what we fly in, but we get a lot of new people that come in that may not know what to buy. So they listen to us because they know we bought these products. So that's one of the things I really like about coming in the live stream, just trying to share information that can help us continue to purchase in more creative ways without having to spend the big bucks to get it done. Because, you know, a lot of these people won't promote us. They'll promote Billy Kyle and the big people, but they don't promote us. We kind of promote, but we promote for them every day, Bill.
Yep, we do.
Especially
You're
DJI.
right.
Look,
You're right.
guys, I got to run. I got a little girl I got to make some food for. Lunch is coming up here.
Did you buy directly from Tenlog or through somebody else?
Nope. I buy directly from that website you were on. And it's funny because it's Tenlog, but I think the domain says like warm or something on it, Bill.
I was on, that was warm, and then there is a tenlog3d.com though.
Yeah, but if you click that to buy it, it's warm. So look at the bottom chat, the chat in the bottom right. Click on that and ask them any questions, and they'll respond to you.
Cool.
Yeah, I got to run, guys. See y'all. Thanks for letting me on, Bill.
All right. You take care now.
Thanks.
Thanks for stopping. Appreciate it. Lexus. Yep. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging with me on my birthday. I don't make a big deal out of birthdays usually. Just an excuse to come on and see everybody. That was very informative. I'm glad he came in. Because I don't know, poop. I don't know. That extended the show. Oh, absolutely. I was falling asleep. I was putting myself to sleep. Anyway, well, guys, it is now almost 2:00 in the morning. Around the sun, the arbitrary point in space. You're a clever guy, aren't you? I like that. Thank you. Appreciate it, Alexis. It is my birthday now. It's actually my birthday Central Time, and it's almost my birthday Mountain Time. 5 more minutes. But I don't usually make of it. This is the first. I'm going to take tomorrow off from work. And it's the first time, literally, I think, in my adult life that I've ever actually intentionally taken my birthday off. I'm talking about decades, because it's just another day. To me, you celebrate it on your day off. I mean, if your day off is Sunday and your birthday's on Thursday, you just celebrate it on Sunday, or the previous Sunday, whatever. But my boss, he was like, take it off. I'll cover, take off, have it, enjoy your day. And you know what? I got vacation time coming to me, and very difficult for me to get the chance to use it. So I'm going to use it, and I'm going to take tomorrow off and relax. And I'm probably going to fly. In fact, I'm sure I'm going to fly a little, and maybe from the roof to make Kenny happy, and go to dinner with my wife tomorrow night. So, yeah. Other huge too, yeah. The BC alternative, yeah. Well, yeah, but it's like 61. I've had so many of them. They just people say it's just a number. Yeah, it's a big number. But anyway, that's it, guys. And I hope you enjoyed seeing what I looked like back when I was cute. Y'all, thank you for spending your time with me, and have a great night, guys. Be safe and keep flying.